Namaste everyone. One of the most commonly searched term in Google is, can diabetes be reversed? This is the subject of our today's video. Can diabetes be reversed?
Hello everyone. I am Dr. Lakhani. I am a consultant endocrinologist. An endocrinologist is a doctor who is a super specialist in management of diabetes, thyroid, and other hormonal problems. As you are aware, we have started a new initiative called the Golden Month to talk about research conducted for diabetes remission. In the first video of this series, we are going to talk about the science behind the remission from type 2 diabetes. In this part of the series of lectures on diabetes remission, we'll tell you a story of mice. A large part of what we know about diabetes today comes from studies conducted in mice models of diabetes. These mice are modified genetically so that they don't have satiety, and they are given unlimited type of Western food. So as a result, these mice keep eating all the time and within no time become obese. This is similar to what we see in our patients today. In today's world, for most people, food is literally unlimited. And in the presence of unlimited food, a large number of our population become obese. So obesity is associated with what is known as insulin resistance. This means there is more than enough insulin present in the body, but the insulin does not do its job effectively. In fact, autopsy done from these mice have shown the islet cells of pancreas, which are the cells which produce insulin, increase in size to increase the insulin production. However, what is interesting to note is that all of these mice do not develop diabetes. Some mice go on to develop diabetes, whereas some mice keep getting obese but their sugars remain normal. Again, this is what we see in real world. Some patients become obese but do not develop diabetes, whereas some people who are not that obese still go on to develop diabetes. Why is it that some mice develop diabetes mellitus and some do not? The difference lies in the ability of their pancreas to produce insulin. So as the obese mice become more and more obese, they become more and more insulin resistant. As the insulin resistance increases, the pancreas produces more insulin to compensate for the same. Eventually, there comes a time when pancreas cannot produce enough insulin and hence the blood sugars start to rise. In the mice model of diabetes, this is known as phase 1 of diabetes mellitus. So, what do we learn from these mice? The lesson we learn from these mice is that at the end of the day, inability of the pancreas to produce enough insulin to compensate for the insulin resistance leads to diabetes mellitus. The threshold for the same may differ from one mice to other. So how do we use this information to understand the remission of diabetes mellitus? The key point here is to understand that type 2 diabetes is a state of imbalance between insulin resistance and the inability of the pancreas to produce insulin. If we can realign this balance, we would be able to produce diabetes remission. Hence, there are two ways in which we can produce diabetes remission. One, which is very obvious, would be to reduce the insulin resistance. This can be done by losing significant amount of weight. This is what is recommended to all the newly diagnosed diabetes patients. Intense lifestyle measures to lose weight can lead to reduction of insulin resistance and assist the pancreas to produce more insulin. The other, which is more interesting, is to increase the ability of the pancreas to produce insulin. Now this is interesting. Can pancreas produce more insulin? This would be subject of our next video. However, the take-home message from this video is to understand from our rodent friends that type 2 diabetes is a disease of imbalance between insulin resistance on one hand and inability of the pancreas to produce enough insulin to overcome the resistance on the other. By reducing the insulin resistance, or by perhaps increasing the ability of pancreas to produce more insulin, we can produce remission of type 2 diabetes. This is all for this video. Keep watching, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and have a great day.